This video is gonna be on replenishment, on replen. This is a great video as well, just kind of in general throughout the whole thing. It's pretty dope. Once again, it's just a point of view of exactly what you'll be doing as a replenisher. You'll be doing replenishment in a warehouse, and this one is. I really enjoyed this one. This one was dope. The channel is Xqeze. I don't really know how to pronounce it. Xqeze? Xqeze. Maybe it's just like Easy, like, shit, boys in the hood. What do you call it? Rolling in my 6-5. Cause the boys in the hood are always hard. But yeah, my bad. R.I.P. Easy E. Xqeze. The title of the video is Freezer High Lift Reach Truck. My bad. It's because I'm basically reading my notes from when I was watching the video. I have some sloppy ass writing, so it's basically that I was trying to write fast, but I think next time I'm just gonna start writing it on my laptop just right away. That way I could just copy and paste it right away while I'm doing that. But once again, the title is Freezer High Lift Reach Truck. And at the start of the video, it's really dope because that's basically how I feel every morning. Like, when I'm working at a freezer site, there's just something about working in the freezer that's just fuck. Like, I don't know. That shit's crazy. It's cool and everything, but damn, like, especially working in the morning shift. A couple years ago, I was at a grocery warehouse that had all three departments: dry, freezer, and cooler. And I was working in the freezer, so. But basically, that's exactly how it feels. The video starts off. He's at home having some coffee. He goes into his car. And that fool's driving to work, and it just turns black. And that fool's in the freezer. Next thing you know. So that's basically that is basically how it is, if I'm being honest. At minute 110, he's in the aisle in the freezer, and he's getting some things from the top. He scans the pallet to make sure it is what it is. Well, he doesn't do that. I don't think he does that, but that's what I would do. But to be honest, I don't do it sometimes, but that is the proper way to do it. Just take a double look. It is what it is. Because, I mean, sometimes you are working in a rush. You just want to get the numbers down. But just like picking and everywhere else, accuracy should be the main thing. But you can see right away the point of view of how he's grabbing the pallet from the top. In the aisle in the freezer, getting things from the top. Yeah, and then just getting it from the top. At minute 220, you can see how he's cutting off the plastic. Cutting off the plastic, it just helps out the pickers. It makes it easier for everybody. But there is different types of cuts, because there is some boxes that if you just take off the plastic right away, it'll just fall straight up. Like, there's no even thinking about it. Like, you can tell. So just keep an eye out with cutting the plastic. Confirms location. At minute 310, you can see how just people come out of nowhere when you're working in the freezer. And you can see how people are just coming out of the aisle. You can see how active it is for the most part. So just always be aware of your surroundings. Always just, keep your head up. Keep looking forward. Because really anybody can be walking, as a lead. A lot of times I was just walking through the aisles, making sure everybody's doing what we gotta be doing, and just making the day go by. You know, making sure that everybody's safe, pushing in pallets if I had to, any garbage or debris on the floor, um, picking up any boxes that were on the floor. You know, that's kind of some of the duties I had as a lead. So, you know, there's always going to be people walking around. And basically, you can see how he's doing it with these replens, how he's showing everything. He's going to get the pallet, and then taking it to the picking slot. And that's basically what you're going to be doing in replen, because, you know, for the most part, you sign in, then you put whatever function you're going to be doing, which in this case will be replen. And once you start off your day, it should right away basically tell you where to go. So if it tells you to go to this aisle and this is the pick slot, go ahead and go there. It's going to tell you A, B, C, or D. It just depends on the warehouse, on what rack it's on. If you're getting it from a bulk location, or if you're getting it from a picking rack, or a rack, I'm sorry. But it'll tell you right there. You go. You can either scan the location or scan the pallet. For the most part, some warehouses, from what I remember, do it differently. But yeah, because sometimes you just scan the pallet, right? And then sometimes you just scan the location. But I mean, I've done it both ways. Now, have I done it both ways? Yeah, I'm sure I've done it both ways. It's just been, I've never really done replen like that. I've done it for sure, and I know the process on it. It's just that, like I said, I've been to so many warehouses that do it differently, you know. But those are the most common ways. Just scanning the label, and then that's basically letting the scanner know that you're grabbing the correct pallet or the correct item, you know, just in general. And once it confirms that you got the correct item and the correct pallet, it's just gonna tell you where to go put it, you know. But from what I remember in his video, he scans the pallet, he scans the label, and then he stages it to his forklift. So he's doing two steps. That should be the way he's doing it, because he scans it always once, and then he scans it again to something else. So then that's basically, that way that pallet won't get lost. That's what I'm thinking, systematically, not physically, but just in case the system kicks them out or anything, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes the system lags in there, so maybe that's what they're trying to avoid. But it could just be so many different ways. There's so many different, you know, ways to look at it. At minute 4:30, you can see how people are just in the aisles while doing replen. So this goes out to any pickers or just anybody in general. It is mostly pickers, but sometimes there is like people that clean in the aisles, or just you see some haulers sometimes. It just depends, once again, on the warehouse. But you just see the most random people doing the most random functions. But when you're doing replen and order selecting, those are the two functions that are mostly taking up the time in the aisles. So you can see right there, there's gonna be pickers around. So don't rush anything. Don't try to. I'm not saying don't try to move too fast, but just be careful. You know, you don't, for rushing, for homeboy trying to get through or homegirl trying to get through, it's not worth hitting a rack or something. And at minute 7:40, moving boxes still in location to a new replen. I must have forgot what I wrote right there. Moving boxes still in location to new replen. If I remember, I'll try to come back. Yeah, see, at minute 9:30, that's basically when I noticed that he was scanning the pallets twice. He scans it once when he brings it down, or he goes ahead and grabs it. And if he's grabbing the wrong one, you can hear it go in the back and shit. So, you know, it does give you like a way to tell you that you're grabbing the wrong thing, because he does he does mess up once or twice, you know, which I mean everybody messes up, so it really doesn't fucking matter. Like right now, like I don't like half my notes are all fucking sloppy right here, so but this is just all things like just so you can start getting used to in case you do want to move up from order selecting up to replen or any situation like that. This is just a, you know, point of view of what you're going to be doing. um then at 11:15 I think staging a pallet he got from the rack in front of the door, in front of the dock door. So that might have been a situation where that, like, maybe that order got left behind because it didn't fit in the trailer, or they're ahead of work. So that like it might have ice cream and they can have it melt, so they put it back in the freezer for a little while because on the dock it's not as cold as inside the freezer. So it could just be any situation, but you can see how you'll have to be doing things like that. Like it might you might not just go to a straight picking location. It might tell you to go drop it off in front of the dock, which in that case you don't cut off the plastic. You know, you're just gonna leave as is. In minute 12, you can see there's a picker. You know, basically they're running into each other, so you can once again get a feel that that's what it's gonna be like. You know, there's gonna be people that are in the way. Sometimes you're gonna be in the way, and stuff like that. So, just keep that in mind. You can see at 12:35 when he gets to a location, um, there's an empty pallet there, so he just takes it out and puts it into another location. Like that's cool, um, because for the most part there is gonna be pickers that are gonna be using those pallets throughout the day. For most warehouses, I would say it's really not ideal, because then there's gonna be another, you know, a pallet that's gonna make its way in there if it already has something assigned to it, like if it has a replen allocated to it. So it's just kind of a repetitive motion, really, until a picker comes and grabs it for his order to put in the middle of anything. On 15:30, you can see how there's rolling racks, and this time he doesn't put a full pallet into a location. He puts a couple of boxes from that pallet into the rolling rack, and it looks like he puts back away whatever he didn't put into the location. So sometimes that's gonna happen. You're gonna have to split the label, or split the basically split the label or split the items, basically confirming that you put, I don't know, in case you put 4, you know what I mean? You put 4 and 2 are left. So you had a total of 6 when it started, and then you put in the 4, you left 2. So now you're gonna systematically put that you left 2 there, and you're putting 2 away back into a location. At 13:50, that's basically when I think he messes up. That you can see that he gets frustrated, but I mean it's all good. Shit happens, man. It's just a thing. I do that shit all the time. Like right now, you know, I'm working on in a department, like a function, for a couple of hours throughout the day at the warehouse that I'm at right now. And I start off the day on a forklift, and then after lunch, and sometimes I fuck up too. Like it's telling me to go to this location and I'm reading it wrong. So it's just something normal. You're doing it so much throughout the day. That was at 13:50. So you check those time lapses. That was my mistake right there. I'm sorry about that. So first is 13:50 when he messes up, and it just gets repetitive. That's what I put, like, because that's the way I see it. Like you're just doing it so fucking much. Like fuck. But it is what it is. At 15:30, like I said, he puts the cases into the rolling rack. He has a couple of moves like that. I noticed that he did it twice. At 24:40, those are pushing racks right there. If my notes are correct, those are the pushing racks that I was talking about in the put away video. Basically, there's like a rail in the rack, and you can fit 2 into 1. So you put you put one pallet on top of the rails, and then when you come in with the next one, you're pushing that one to the back and pushing this one, putting this one in front. So now, that's why it's called a push rack. You're just pushing it back, and you're able to fit two into one location, two pallets into one location. At 2620, you can hear the thing in the back. Please charge your battery. Please charge your battery. That shit gets annoying after a while, but I mean, I could feel it because you don't want to go change it while you're in the fucking zone and shit. And sometimes it just depends on how it works. Like, you don't know if you have to change your whole forklift, or if you just, what you have to change, if it's just the gun or what. But for the most part, he had the scanner to his computer, so it might have been the forklift. I'm not 1,000% sure. Most of the warehouses that I've been to lately have been just RF scanners, like with the zebras, or with like those old school ones. And then that's basically what he's doing the whole time. Just a bunch of replen. That's what I got in my notes. I have another one right here. Let me see. At 3225, he grabs the pallet from the back location instead of getting it mixed. Grabs pallet from the back location instead of letting it get mixed. Let me see. I can probably go back and check, but oh, okay. I remember. He basically there's one of the boxes that when he pulls out the pallet that he's gonna replenish, there's one of those boxes in the back location. Pretty much it went to the other location in the back of it, and instead of him leaving it there, he goes and grabs it. So that's cool. That way the picker doesn't mess up in accuracy. That really does help a lot. And because pickers get in trouble for that, they can get coached for that. They can get a warning for that, a write-up, a warning, like I said, a coach. But yeah, it's just a good thing I saw. He's basically helping out the picker and helping out, so that way everything is just in order. And you can see he's just carrying all his plastic throughout all those replens. That's something that that is with the forklift drivers. Sometimes they're just carrying a bunch of what do you call it? A bunch of plastic with them because there's no trash cans around and stuff like that. So just kind of get used to little things like that. It's kind of funny sometimes when he's just kicking the wood. Like, sometimes I feel like that too. Like, you don't feel like fucking picking up the wood and you just kick it to the side. Especially in the freezer. Look in the freezer. You can see how cold it is in there. He has his gloves on. He has a freezer suit. Everybody in there has a freezer suit. If I'm not mistaken, there's a dude with like a highlighted freezer suit in there. So like you can see that it is damn cold in there. I noticed also that there was like wood on top of some of the pallets he was bringing down. So just keep that in mind. Like, not to bring it down too fast sometimes, because it can, like, debris and like wood and nails or stuff, they can fall in your eye, like, for reals. Like, sometimes there's nails right there, believe me. Once again, all the plastic he has on the reach. But that's a nice point of view. Like I said, I'm just trying to get better at these types of videos, just trying to give you guys an idea of what to look out for, so you guys can get a point of view if you're interested in wanting to do some replenishment in the warehouse. This is a good video. I suggest you guys can go and check out. It's dope. The next one should be on order selecting in the freezer. Then I got a couple more that I'm just gonna keep trying to do, but I'm just gonna try to keep giving tips like this, giving you guys some recommendations on videos you can see if you're interested in any of these. I got a bunch right here ready to go, so I'll try to finish these ASAP. But I appreciate you listening.